Indeed, welcome back to Sporty Monday. Now we take a shift to matters of football. We have Junior Starlets, our very own under-17 women's national team that was seeking to qualify for their second straight World Cup appearance. And of course that they fell short, courtesy of Cameroon, home and away, away and a home win against the Junior Starlets. But let's give them flowers where they deserve. As Lawyer Chutsi has said, we give them acres of flowers. They did very well, actually, against an experienced team like Cameroon. And but let's delve on what really happened, what really went wrong as far as that team is concerned. Let's look at Coach Mildred Cheche, and we look specifically at the selection of the team that she had to make when it came to the home and away match and this particular final qualifier for the World Cup. Now, she made very big changes when it comes to, I think, the midfield, and this was actually the fourth straight qualifiers that she's been tricking up the team. Now, coming to you, Zita, I mean, was it really necessary to make all those changes? And I can ask you this, does she have a starting 11 for the junior style? Did she have that? Because we sing her tweaking teams match in, match out.
She has a starting 11 because we can see it's not the first time she's handling this team. Yeah. Of course, she has taken the team to the World Cup and facing different team all over the world. But again, she was unbeaten, of course, in Africa. But again, she just met a side that is well prepared. And just one thing that I will say is that we need to look on our any athlete or any person who is in the sports industry needs to look on what we are eating and how we are preparing the girls, as much as even they are 17 years or 18 years from different. You can see the difference from, let me talk about Wanjala. Wanjala was a very small boy when he was at St. Anthony's. But there's something that they've turned to him when he went to Europe. You can see he looks like a very big man with muscles, you know. So we need to go to the nutritionist. I think, I hope I said it well, and see what we need to feed our national teams, our players on what to eat. Because mtabaki mmesema ati watu wako na mwili kubwa, we can't play with them, we can't do that. But again, maybe they have a very good diet on eating. Maybe because a lot of people say that. Maybe yes, genetics. Way, yeah. What Western Nigerian people, what do they eat? Nigerian people eat muhogo. If you eat muhogo for the longest time, your body will become big. But unajua sisi tumezoea hizi.
But you know, we have an advantage also. They might have the body, but we can beat them tactically. Yeah.
I'm just saying we need to know the teams that we are facing. We need to study the teams very well. We need to know even the culture and everything, what they're going through, so that when you're facing a team, you know, sitaenda na mtu mwenye ako hivi, I will go with this person because maybe he has a strength, he can give me this, what I need. You know, and that's what Cheche, I think, missed a little bit, whereby we need to learn our team very well. We need to run Cameroon very well. And then again, as much as we are preparing these teams, we need to give them, again, very good friendlies. Cheche has been asking about friendlies for the longest time. You know, tunapewa friendlies, tunaenda sijui hapo hivi tunacheza maybe na teams zenye ziko huko chini. We need to prepare the teams very well and give them very nice friendlies. Of course, we saw the senior coach, that is for Harambee Starlets, of course, Berlin, being given a very nice friendly. Of course, that friendly has opened up her mind because, and she said, I'm the one who asked to play against, I mean, for that, I'm the one who asked the federation to give me that friendly because I know what I need from that. Yes. So let's prepare the girls team very well. We're not going, we give flowers to Cheche. What she did is very, very amazing. But again, we need to go to the drawing board and see where we went wrong.
I think, and of course, can also talk about the changes the crucial changes that she made. Of course, replacing Brenda Cheng in the attack, and of course also Valencia out. Was that also part? Did that contribute to that particular loss?
I think we were given friendly matches. The senior team played friendly matches, some which we lost. And the under-17 also played some friendly matches. I think we played against Morocco. It was not an easy thing to book. So I will not say that lack of friendlies caused us the match. I think general preparation. Cameroon, remember, we knocked them out last season, I think, in the senior teams preparation.
Yes,
I think that grudge, they still held that grudge because it's not an easy side as far as football is concerned. But there is a deeper thing here that we are not discussing. Remember, this team went to Santo Domingo for the World Cup under-17 last year. The team has transitioned from under-17. Look at the age factor. And I think Coach Mildred Cheche did not spend her time to scout the best team, because now the team that she depended on to go to Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic has transitioned probably into the under-18s. You see? So we no longer have the under-18s that played very well and qualified for the World Cup last year. Number two, there is an issue that teachers are raising, because most of these players are students, that you are not involving us into the preparation of these kids. They are students first before they are players. So there's no that so there's no that communication. And some of the players were really left out because schools did not allow them to participate in the qualifiers. So that has been a cry since last year that involved the teachers, because these kids are under 17. They are not of age. They are still under the stewardship of the teachers at the school level. So not involving the schools in preparing the teams is also hindering. So Coach Mildred Cheche, in my view, did not get the best players, because some schools got hold of their good players. And a case in point is Butere Girls, which has very good players and has been having a bigger number of these players in the national team. So probably the principal, going by experience, probably might not have allowed the girls to participate. Another issue is about money. You see, there are still mamas out there that the money that we were promised did not come over. So there are so many issues that might have caused this, because losing with such a margin for the under-17 team that really performed well in the last season is not coming up very well to me, that we lack players. No. There's something major that might have caused all this, and we really need to look into that. Transition into the other age bracket is one of them. Involving teachers in planning for the national team is another thing. So let us take up the mistakes and plan well next time. Football, especially for girls, is growing in Kenya. And we should not now allow such problems to hinder us, so that we lose it, as we have done it with the national men's team, because the national men's team has now become another story. I don't want to mention the teams that you will be.
In addition, Shtera is sounding,
Alex.
Shtera is sounding like a typical Kenyan. You know, we are so used to things not working that we've Wakenya ujihami na reason. So when something doesn't work, ukona something to blame.
Justification.
Yes. When you lose, and you lose fairly, just say congratulations to the other team and plan better. That was it.
But what are you planning? There is a problem. For you to plan, there must be a problem. That's why I'm saying. That's why I say, let us learn from what we did wrong. And I have mentioned the reasons that might have caused.
I hear you, Shtera.
Yes, Alex.
And they are factual. You are a journalist, Alex.
Yes, yes, I am not a welder. I am a journalist. And that's why I'm telling you, Shtera, let's not blame things. Coach Mildred Cheche has been one of the best performing coaches in Kenya in the recent past.
So why all of a sudden?
In the recent past. So in a game of football, there are three outcomes. You either win, you lose, or you draw. This time it was not our, it not go away. Let's not now start blaming, because that's what we do, and we bring other issues, and we will now start messing up with the technical bench because Coach Mildred Cheche did not involve teachers. Let everyone do their job. we cannot have high school teachers managing national teams. There's a reason as to why there's a structure to that. If Coach Mildred Cheche prefers a certain player, that is why we've given her that responsibility.
What if the,
because we've been talking about
the principal does not release the player?
You see that?
But I'm sure that's now there's no any form of communication.
And that is why I said the federations should look at how
the reason as to why they need to
work closely with the Ministry of Education. You saw it happening.
Let me interject.
Okay, you saw it.
Pure supremacy.
Let me interject.
It's not supremacy. It's not supremacy. We are just coming.
Let me interject and guide you. I'll give you some important guidance.
We are coming from a backdrop of a very serious argument on who is in charge of a student.
Yeah.
The same school, Butere Girls.
It moved from one level to the other.
Same school, Butere Girls, did not perform their drama production because of same things that I'm talking about. So football is not that it's not that it has a monopoly that because it's football now, the coach will go and pick the student without the teacher's involvement. That is my point.
All right.
Now, I'll be very brief. One, we lost because the spirit and the belief of remontada did not work. All across, from Europe to Africa. The spirit of remontada is that the spirit of coming back. It failed with my beloved Real Madrid. It also now cascaded downwards towards our Harambee Stars. We lost the battle here, Starlets. We lost the battle here in Kenya. If we had won here, we would have had a head start.
Exactly.
Going to Cameroon. Remember, the senior team, the Starlets, we witnessed a remontada. We came back in Tunis. Now that spirit faded away. Now, on the player selection, one of the reasons, I know Alex says we do not need to apportion blame, but at some point we will have to apportion some blame for the reasons that in terms of football, the junior teams, we are not a well-established jurisdiction, football, within the football jurisdiction. We are not that better off. In fact, we are still crawling. We are not walking straight like West Africans. The lack of Talanta Hela, the initiative by Honorable Babu Namwamba and the Kenya Academy of Sports has really eaten into the selection of junior teams. The majority of the players in the team that qualified at the under-17, the one which represented the country in World Cup, was from Talanta Hela. Majority of the players.
Because he was covering this.
Yes, majority of the players. And the coach had she had an option from a wide pool of
that's why we are saying
talented players to be selected from. But right now, we do not have that. She does not have the laxity. And also, do we have actually national team scouts? I do not think so. Now, on the player selection, who is in charge of these players? Ordinarily, it's the principal.
Okay.
It's the principal. And by the way, it is illegal for a principal or any person, owner of the club, to withhold a player who has been summoned for any national duty. So if we have any cogent evidence or reasons to think that some particular players were denied the audience to feature or participate or even represent the country, then I think a slap on the wrist on some of these teachers. We do not need really to hit them hard, but some warnings could do, some talks, how we are going to interact with them, explain to them the importance of these children participating for the country. But there's an important, lastly, you said there's transition. We lost almost 50% or 60% of the players because they grew a year older or a month older. So that must have affected us in terms of transitioning and preparing for the next group. But we didn't do that badly. In terms of tactics, you asked something about the change of players. Yes. The coach will always have the discretion. However, I realized we normally played 4-2-3-1. But Cameroon played 4-4-2 here in Nairobi. They packed the midfield. And Coach Cheche's, one of Coach Cheche's prowess, she advances her attacks through the midfield. And then the midfield distributes to the wingers. But once Cameroon packed their midfield, we started running.
We lost options.
Yeah, we panicked. we started making rushed passes, overhead passes. There was zero build-up.
Yes.
That is what some people in social media say, that we started running like headless chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
lastly,
I think, Wakili, this one thing that we will not walk away from.
Yes.
The fact that schools have regulations, and that is what we've been arguing from a TSC point of view, that you will not just walk into a school and pick a student who is under the registration of a certain school for academics and say that because it's football, I'm picking her up. Because it's drama, I'm picking her up. I think it's the right time we followed the regulations and the federations respected that jurisdiction.
Yes.
Because this kid should have registered Kwa Sports Academy, as you said, so that she will be picked from there. But the moment they are being picked from the school, we should establish a procedure onto which federations will liaise with the Ministry of Education to get kids. Remember, this team almost failed to travel to the Dominican Republic for the World Cup. Why? Because the national exams were being held at the same time the World Cup was being played.
Exactly.
It took the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports to craft a formula on how these students will get time to do the exams after they came back. That is what I'm talking about. You don't just wake up and say that we are picking you, let's go. There should be a formula.
No. I think
they always have formula, because it's not the first time. It's not the first time.
There was no formula.
It's not the first time they're picking players from school.
I think we'll pose it on that.
It has been done illegally.
Who was left out?
The same way.
Let's pause on that. Let's pause on that.
Who was left out?
We are running out of time, guys.
I told
we are running out of time.
I told you, Kinyo, you are a journalist. I will not do the job for you.
All right, we are running out of time, and